day and thank you for joining us on Beetv News Update at 3. I am Lee Braitman Johanna. Now the news in details. The Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, has presented a proposed 4.237 trillion naira budget for the 2026, the budget of shared prosperity. The report.
The Speaker's procession marked the official start of the 2026 Lagos State's budget presentation. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's arrival highlighted camaraderie between the lawmakers and the executives. The 2026 budget, titled Budget of Shared Prosperity, was presented by the governor, outlining key priorities including health, transportation, modern infrastructure, education, housing, agribusiness and security, all aimed at building a Lagos that works for everyone.
On our thriving 21st century megacity economy, this pillar believes focusing global sub-national economy. I'm proud to disclose that in 2025, we're able to secure a 1 trillion in new investment commitment in our state. This reflects the Lagos continue to receive well over 35% of foreign direct investment into our country.
The governor announced a projected revenue of 3.994 trillion naira, comprising 3.120 trillion naira in internally generated revenue and 243.33 billion naira from deficit financing. The budget allocates 2.185 trillion naira for capital expenditure and 2.052 trillion naira for recurrent expenditure. The Speaker commended Governor Sanwo-Olu for his efforts and assured that the House would work to ensure the speedy passage of the 2026 budget.
Reflecting on 2025 fiscal year, I can say with confidence that the current budget execution has been promising, especially in health, education, transport and security. Budget must match Lagosians' aspiration. It must further economic resilience.
Final full-year budget of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration. Evelyn Isabella reporting for Beetv News.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) reported a profit after tax of 5.43 million naira from total revenue of 45.1 trillion naira for the 2024 financial year. The group CEO stated that the results reflect a year of strong operational performance. The report.
The 2024 financial report highlights NNPC's resilience, improved financial strength, and enhanced operational efficiency. Revenue reached 45.1 trillion naira, an 88% year-on-year increase. Earnings per share were 27.7 naira, up 64% year-on-year. Crude oil production totaled 202.3 million barrels, and natural gas production was 1,045.6 billion standard cubic feet.
Enhancing operational efficiency across all our businesses, the positive impact on our downstream market reforms, and our unveiling commitment to cost discipline. Financially, we have never been stronger or better positioned for tomorrow.
Building on this performance, the company unveiled a strategic roadmap to drive sustained growth and support Nigerians' energy transition through 2030. The plan includes a $60 billion investment pipeline focused on expanding oil and gas production, major gas infrastructure, and emerging clean energy initiatives. NNPC aims to grow natural gas production to 10 billion cubic feet per day by 2027 and 12 billion cubic feet per day by 2030, alongside completing major gas infrastructure projects.
We are also expanding our pipelines into the east, from Asa North to deepen market into the east. We're hoping to even expand the Elps pipeline into the west as well. So when you think about the growth in gas production, what has come clearly to us is that to fast-track industrialization, we need to spend more energy in developing the market.
Fundamentals are still strong. You typically would not see that type of impact in an oil and gas company because where price has not moved significantly. But what's the effect of FX?
According to the company, its ongoing transformation is anchored on transparency, innovation, and disciplined growth. As Sohair or Semegi reporting for Beetv News.
President Bola Tinubu is proposing sweeping reforms to Nigerians' legal profession, including a complete repeal and reenactment of the Legal Practitioners Account. In a letter read by Senate President Godswill Akpabio, the President requested that the National Assembly consider a new executive bill to strengthen standards within the legal practice. Under the proposed reforms, all new lawyers would undergo a mandatory 2-year apprenticeship, participate in continuous professional development programs, and obtain compulsory licensing before full practice. The bill aims to modernize the regulatory framework and enhance professional competence across the justice sector.
Laws of the Federation 2004, which was enacted into law in 1962. The draft bill introduces a new legal framework strengthening the regulation of the legal profession in Nigeria and providing necessary reforms to enhance professional standards.
The report.
The ceremony held at the Cocoa Conference Hall of the Governor's Office in Akure marked a significant step in the strengthening of the state governance structure. The event was attended by relatives of the appointees, government officials, and well-wishers who described it as a milestone occasion. In his speech, Governor Ayedatiwa described the appointments as a solemn affirmation of his commitment to people-oriented leadership, efficient governance, and integrity in public service. He emphasized that governance for him is not about preserving power, but about using authority selflessly to advance human dignity. The governor explained that the latest appointments were the result of thorough consideration and a rigorous merit-based selection process.
This event carries symbolic and practical significance. It represents our administration's enduring resolve to strengthen the institution of governance and deepen policy coordination and accelerate the delivery of our shared developmental vision under our ease policy thrust.
Speaking on behalf of the appointees, the Special Advisor on Transportation, Olugbenga Omole, assured the governor of their loyalty, dedication, and readiness to contribute meaningfully to the development of the state.
For all of us, I want to assure you of our loyalty and for people to serve on those states and to engage in new impact and bring grounds.
With their inauguration, the new appointees are expected to begin work immediately and contribute to enhancing governance in Ondo State. Temitope Oluwafemi reporting for Beetv News.
Governor Mohammed Nasser Idris has confirmed the successful rescue of all 24 schoolgirls abducted from Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School Maga in Dankun Wasagu local government area. The girls kidnapped before dawn on Monday, November 17th, were freed through non-kinetic efforts led by the military in collaboration with security agencies. Governor Idris stated that the students are en route to the state capital, where they will be officially handed over to the state government on Wednesday. He assured the public that no ransom was paid and that the rescue resulted from strategic operations, intelligence, and coordination. He also thanked President Tinubu and others, noting that the federal government remained proactive and fully committed during the crisis.
The release of our students that were being abducted from one of our secondary school in Maga. They have been rescued and all of them are in good health. They are on their way coming to the state capital. And let me seize this opportunity on behalf of good people of Kebbi State to thank Mr. President for his concern for Kebbi State, and also to seize this opportunity to thank the security agencies, the police, the DSS, the military, the civil defense, and all other security agencies for being alive to their responsibility.
The Minister Minister of Education Tunji Alausa visited the University of DHA for Science and Technology as part of Nigerians' efforts to expand and modernize technical and vocational education and training (TVET). He was received by UDS President Dr. Salam Al-Nami and senior university leaders. Alausa highlighted the university's focus on practical industry-aligned training and announced key partnership between Nigeria and UDSC, including faculty exchange programs to train Nigerian instructors in trades such as plumbing, welding, electrical installation, and solar technology. The collaboration will also strengthen quality assurance in Nigerian TVET institutions, ensure certificates meet international standards, and promote entrepreneurship and innovation to empower youth as business owners and innovators. The Southwest Governor Forum is set to create a Southwest Regional Security Fund to strengthen the region's response to insecurity, especially rising incidents of kidnapping, banditry, illegal mining, and unregulated interstate migration. This decision was reached at a meeting of the 6 governors held at the governor's office in Ibadan, Oyo State. The forum stated that the fund will be managed by the Dan Commission and supervised by the special advisors on security from all 6 states. It will support coordinated operations, joint intelligence sharing, and rapid response initiatives across Lagos, Oyo, and Ekiti states. The governors also approved the establishment of a live digital intelligence sharing platform that will enable real-time exchange of threats alerts, incident reports, and interstate security communication.
Surveillance across the southwest states and enjoined and called on the federal government to secure the vast forest belts that have become hideouts for all sorts of criminal elements. To this end, the forum agrees that the federal government should help deploy the forest guards across the southwest states, with each state government responsible for providing the required personnel.
The Niger State government says more children have been found following the adoption of pupils and teachers from St. Mary's Primary and Secondary School, Papiri. Governor Omaru Bago disclosed this when he received the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ekpetokun, at the government house in Mina. The report.
It has been 4 days since bandits attacked St. Mary Primary and Secondary School in Papari, abducting over 200 children and teachers. The state government says the actual number may be lower, explaining that some children fled into the bush during the attack as security forces fired sporadically. While 51 children returned on Monday, the government reports that the number has now increased.
Unfortunately, we are in a position that we don't even know the exact numbers of those people that are missing. But what matters most today is that people are missing. The Department of State Service.
And we are ready to give everything to ensure that the remaining pupils and their teachers still in captivity are rescued unhurt.
While the return of more children offers some relief, time is running out for those still in captivity. The IGP's visit reassures the Niger State government that all police resources are being used to ensure the safe release of the remaining children. Temitokwe Oluwafemi reporting for BTV News.
And now to business news. The Nigeria's Labour Congress (NLC) has called on workers to develop resilient and strategic leadership skills in order to confront the growing challenges of insecurity and systemic exploitation in the country. The report.
The appeal was made on Tuesday by NLC President Comrade Joe Ajaero during his opening address at the 2025 Harmattan School held at Top Rank Hotel Otako, Abuja on November 24th. The Harmattan School, a capacity-building forum designed to educate and mobilize the nation's workforce, brought together participants from across the country to discuss the theme, workers' rights in the context of global economic crisis and technology in the workplace, and the steady erosion of political and social rights. He stressed that only a well-informed, strategically organized workforce can effectively respond to these challenges. Ajaero cited recent instances of rights violations in major corporations, including the Dangote Group and the NLS
LNG Train 7 project, warning that these examples reflect a wider pattern of exploitation threatening workers' welfare nationwide. He accused power corporate interests of undermining labor rights, saying monopoly capital is operating as a state within a state, crushing trade union rights and treating workers as disposable inputs in vast profit-making machines. Ajero also cautioned that proposed legal reforms and the establishment of special economic zones by the government could further entrench what he described as class-based exploitation. Beyond workplace issues, the NLC president linked technological advancement and global capital interest to Nigeria's worsening insecurity, arguing that these forces contribute to the broader challenges faced by workers and the country at large. FG seeks young Nigerians to boost primary health care. The federal government to contribute to improving health outcomes and advancing community health initiatives. Entrepreneurs advised to prioritize proven systems. Entrepreneurs, small business owners and marketers have been advised to adopt proven systems and structured strategies to drive business growth as highlighted at the Sales Hack Conference 2025. Organizers describe the gathering as a transformative platform aimed at strengthening sales capacity across Nigeria. Convener Paul Chinedu said the event drew significant enthusiasm from participants. When I saw the hall filled with business owners hungry for growth, I felt deeply inspired, he said, noting that attendees were eager to learn and apply new knowledge. With the theme Consistent Sales, the conference underscored that business growth is not a matter of luck, insisting that sales processes can be deliberately structured. Organizers emphasized that the importance of integrating effective systems, marketing frameworks, follow-up mechanisms, and advertising strategies, whether through social media platforms or educational content, to build predictable revenue streams. Speakers delivered practical sessions featuring case studies, data analysis, and system breakdowns covering areas such as storytelling-driven marketing and customer retention. Participants remained actively engaged throughout the event, taking notes, asking questions, and networking long after the session concluded. Temitokwe Oluwafemi reporting for Beetv News.
And on the global news, Tanzania has cancelled next month's Independence Day celebration, with the funds to be instead spent on rebuilding infrastructure damaged in recent election unrest, Prime Minister Mwigulu Nchemba has said. His announcement comes as the opposition and others have been calling for people to gather on Independence Day 9 December to demonstrate about killings that took place following last month's disputed poll.
Inquiry. President Samia Suluhu Hassan won the poll with 98% of the vote, described by the opposition as a mockery of democracy. Her key opponents were unable to contest the poll. Tundu Lissu had been in detention on treason charges, which he denies, while Luhaga Impina's candidacy was rejected on technical grounds. Election observers have since reported signs that the vote was manipulated and fell short of democratic standards. An international coalition of lawyers and human rights groups has now formally asked the International Criminal Court to investigate President Samia and her government for crimes against humanity allegedly committed during the unrest, including mass killings and secret disposal of more than 500 bodies. The 82-page document was formally submitted to the ICC's Office of the Prosecutor on 13 November, but has only been made public on Tuesday. The government had imposed an internet blackout for 5 days from released. On Monday, while announcing the cancellation of celebrations, Nchemba appealed to Tanzanians to avoid violence and insisted on the importance of political dialogue. I urge my fellow Tanzanians to come together and discuss the issues affecting us. Let us not return to what we went through, because the consequences are irreparable, he said. President Samia came into office in 2021 as Tanzania's first female president, following the death of President John Magufuli. She was initially praised for easing political repressions, but the political space has since narrowed. Zainab Mohammed, reporting for Beetv News.
On entertainment news, among Miss Cynthia Aloba, widow of the late Afrobeat singer Ileri Oluwa Aloba, known as Mohbad, has initiated formal legal proceedings seeking to prevent any unauthorized claims or attempts to assume control of the musician's estate. The report.
The widow confirmed that she has filed Form 5 and Form 6, documents that legally restrict the issuance of letters of administration to anyone not recognized under the law. Her legal team noted that the notice remains binding until the estate is properly and lawfully administered, particularly given that the deceased lawful wife and son are still alive. The court filing formally identifies Omowumi as the legal wife of the late singer and the mother of his only surviving child, Master Liam Aloba. She added that public notices warning against any surreptitious or fraudulent attempt continues to wear a protective mask 4 years after the incident. In an interview, the 26-year-old forward disclosed that nerve damage from the collision continues to severely restrict movement in his face and even affects basic functions such as eating. Osimhen sustained the injury in November 2021 during a Serie A match after a collision with Milan Skriniar. The impact caused multiple facial fractures, including a broken cheekbone and eye sockets, and required reconstructive surgery in which 18 screws and a titanium plate were inserted. Grace Richardson, 20, who was bullied at school for her sexuality, has said she has achieved her dream after being crowned Miss England. The musical theatre student from Leicester revealed that she endured constant teasing at school in Leicestershire due to being gay. Despite the negativity, she persevered and won the title after entering a competition for only the second time. Richardson is believed to be the first openly gay Miss England after receiving the crown at an event in Wolverhampton on Friday. She will now go on to represent England as Miss World 2026. Reflecting on her school years, Richardson described the bullying she faced as horrendous. She was one of 12 finalists in the competition, having secured a win in the talent category. Originally set to perform a ballet routine, Richardson broke her foot shortly after entering the event. She instead showcased another of her musical theatre skills, performing Lauren Allred Never Enough from The Greatest Showman, which helped her clinch the top prize. And that's it on the entertainment news. Evelyn Izibili reporting for Beetv News.
And lastly, on sports news, England has set to benefit from tennis star Sidney